Hello, Virgo, and welcome to your reading for the month of November 2025. I've been anticipating this reading, maybe because I'm a Virgo, but I think there's some things where I'm already feeling the alignment and I'm already feeling like things are happening, even though we're not 100% in November just yet. So let's see what the cards say, Virgo. What do we need to know for the sign of Virgo as it relates to money, wealth, finances, prosperity, and abundance? All right. And there it is. Nice, nice, nice. All right. So, but here's the thing. Look at this Knight of Pentacles. I don't like him being the first card. Why? Because this means somebody, well, it may not necessarily be an actual somebody, but what I am picking up is that Knight of Pentacles is an indicator that somebody overpromises and underdelivers. Now, the thing is this is something work or money related, clearly, because it is the Knight of Pentacles and we are doing a money reading. And it's very disappointing because you're probably going to have to downgrade this person in your life. Now, when I say that, it doesn't mean that you have to cut them off completely, but you know exactly what I said, Virgo. Downgrading people, giving them less access to you, and maybe not giving them as much of your time and attention. Why? Because it's costing you money. And we don't have time to waste, or we don't have money to waste, or potential to waste for that matter. Next up, we do have the Chariot card. You got a lot of stuff going on. I think November is really going to kick off some stuff for you, Virgo. Get ready for it. You're going to be busy. We also have the World card. This is constant improvements being made. This is also something that is unfinished. So whatever you started, you need to wrap that up in the month of November because it's costing you money the longer you let it sit undone. Next up, we've got the Six of Pentacles and the Ace of Pentacles. All right, so this is a new stream of income coming in. Six of Pentacles means you're in a position to be generous, Virgo. And here's the thing. I'm not really getting that this is generosity, like you just giving hundreds or thousands of dollars away. What I'm seeing is that you are very generous with your knowledge and your experience, and you willingly share that with other people. Now, this doesn't always mean that it's reciprocated, but sometimes just giving could be an act of positioning and setting yourself up for something later on. All right, so you're going to use your generosity strategically. Now, some of you may not like this, but that's kind of how business unfolds, right? Everything is done with intention, and a lot of stuff that's done as it relates to money and business is done as part of a bigger strategy. And that's what I'm seeing here for you, Virgo. And the thing is you're so brilliant because you recognize this, Virgo, when a lot of other people don't. All right, so use it to your advantage because it will pay off and it will benefit you eventually. All right, so let's see what else is showing up for, whoa, my Virgos as it relates to money, wealth, finances, prosperity, and abundance for the month of November 2025. Now, you saw we had a really messy shuffle. And when I have a messy shuffle, that's an indicator of kind of a scattered or sometimes a messy energy. Now, is that really negative? Not really, but it just means that we need to kind of rein things in, Virgo. We need to kind of dial things in. All right, so let's look at this. The Page of Wands, that is good news as it relates to work or business. Some of you are going to have a breakthrough. The other thing is, what I'm seeing here, watch how quickly things turn around. Because look, you've got the Page of Pentacles, Page of Swords, and the Page of Wands. This is literally things turning around for you unexpectedly in a good way. All right, so next up we do have the Star card. This is you attracting a lot of attention, Virgo. Sometimes it could be a little bit uncomfortable, but it's also an opportunity to be seen. So make sure you leverage that. Next up, we got the King of Cups. That's the card of emotional intelligence, emotional quotient. I feel like the second week of November, Virgo, you're going to be really on an emotional roller coaster. Now, for some of you, this could be something that's hormonal. For a lot of you, it could be something where it's rooted in your personal relationships. And we all know that our relationships impact our finances either directly or indirectly. So you have to be very careful with that. Really guard your feelings in that second week of November. All right. We got the Page of Pentacles. That's good news coming as it relates to money. You got good news coming as it relates to work. I feel like things really are going to turn around for you, Virgo, in the second week of November. That's what I'm seeing here. Then we got that Page of Swords. The Page of Swords is a card that talks about something being stopped or discontinued unexpectedly. And I feel like this is something of a financial or money nature. All right, either something gets paid off, something gets canceled, maybe you stop spending money somewhere. That could be too. Either way, it's going to be good because you're going to feel less scattered and less all over the place, which is always good when we're talking about money. All right, so just watch how quickly your finances turn around, Virgo, especially in the second week of November, because I do see a lot of things happening for you, and I do see you making some moves here, which is very exciting, right? And I feel like something like finally kind of pops off and you're not expecting it and you're not ready for it. That's what this Star card is indicating. Like maybe suddenly you have a video that goes viral. Maybe somebody mentions you in a review and suddenly your business takes off. It's something like that, all right? Where you're just not expecting it and you're not prepared for it, but it's okay. You navigate that and you utilize that to the best of your ability. All right, so don't worry. All right, Virgo, let's see what else is showing up for you as it relates to money, wealth, finances, prosperity, and abundance for the month of November 2025. Nice. You got that Page of Swords again. All right, why is he showing up twice? Ooh, and look, you got your card in your reading. All right, so the second half of November is going to be a time where you need to reflect, Virgo. You need to reevaluate, reassess before you make any more big major moves, okay? Because this Four of Swords is a card of stepping back, stepping away. And then you also have the Hermit card, which is the Virgo card in the tarot deck. And this is also a card of going within, reflecting, before we make any big major decisions. We also have the High Priestess card. She's like the power card here. All right, so we're trusting our intuition. And I feel like you constantly do that anyway, Virgo, but you're going to be doing that, you know, leaning more into that the second half of November. Then we have the Ten of Cups, one of the most positive cards in the deck. Look at how quickly your finances turn around. All right. This is going to be a time of celebration. Now, here's the thing. I feel like you're going to have a big win in the third week of November. Page of Swords. Unexpected news about something being stopped or discontinued. You got that card twice. I'm really hoping that that's something paid off for you, Virgo. That's kind of what I'm leaning towards, but that could be wishful thinking on my part. But usually when I get this Page of Swords in a money reading, that's what it indicates. So, I mean, it may not be a paid off credit card, but it's something where you're like, wow, thank God this is done. Thank God I don't have to worry about this anymore. It could be something even health related for some of you. You know, like maybe you don't have to take a certain kind of medicine anymore. You don't have to do a certain kind of therapy anymore. So it saves you money because you don't have to buy, you know, spend the money for whatever it is. Next up, we got the Two of Swords. That's you procrastinating on something, Virgo. All right, so here's the thing, Virgo. Even though things are changing and shifting and you know, things are turning around, there's still some areas where you feel a little bit like you're procrastinating. Or maybe you're just afraid to commit. Maybe you're afraid to make the decision. Maybe you're afraid to move in one direction over another. But here's the thing, that could end up costing you, Virgo. All right, so if you can make a decision about something, your best bet is to make that decision, especially in the third week of November, because not making the decision could end up costing you more money. All right, and then we already talked about the Hermit. Remember to go within, give yourself time to reflect, reassess, reevaluate. But I'm excited because the finances literally are turning around. The middle of November is going to be hot. And I want to say that, you know, I mean it in the way of money, opportunities even, business popping off. All right, so, okay, so what else do we need to know for the sign of Virgo as it relates to money, wealth, finances, prosperity, and abundance? Look at this, look at this. All right, we got the Death card. Now, the Death card is a card that talks about your whole entire life changing for the better. All right, so the Death card literally means transformation. I already told you about how quickly things are turning around, and it looks like that energy continues through the end of the month. We've got the Queen of Swords. This is you hesitating on letting something go. I feel like this is a professional personal relationship. Maybe there's somebody in your life that you used to work with or you do work with, and you know that you got to kind of step back from this person, at least temporarily. That's what I'm picking up with this, because it's either distracting you and taking your focus off making the money you need to make, or maybe this person just doesn't get what you're trying to do. And so, you know, it's almost like instead of putting energy on the person, you want to put the energy on the things that are going to pay you. We do have somebody showing up from the past. That Six of Cups, a lot of the signs have been getting that. I'm wondering if November makes people nostalgic, because somebody's going to show up and they're going to reach out to you, Virgo. Now, this is somebody that you may have genuinely had fond feelings for. And I feel like, again, this is somebody in a work or business capacity. All right, that happens towards the end of November. Then we do have the Lover's card. The Lover's card is a divine disconnection in the reverse. The other thing about the Lover's card is it means that you've got a big choice ahead of you. And the thing is, it may be a difficult choice. And I'm feeling like it could be the thing that you were procrastinating on that we talked about the week before. And so that could be why you're hesitating on making a decision. But here's the thing. When you make the decision, Virgo, you really kind of clear the path for what you want. Even though it may be painful, maybe it's something you don't want to deal with. But trust that you're setting yourself up for success. You're setting yourself up for the big win. Okay? Finally, we do have the Ace of Swords. The Ace of Swords is a breakthrough happening, and it's going to feel a little messy. But here's the thing. Remember how we talked about how quickly things are turning around for you? And sometimes when your money situation, things change rapidly, it does feel a little bit chaotic. But that doesn't mean it's not happening for the best, or it's not happening to make way for what you want, to create space, like I said, for the money, for the opportunities, for the new ideas. So don't be afraid of things kind of, that messy middle before things kind of fall into place. All right, Virgo. So the overall theme that I'm getting here is that things are really going to be turning around for you fast in November. Like that's truly what I'm seeing here. And it's really exciting because I feel like this is something you've been working towards, and you're finally starting to see the movement. You're finally starting to see things change for the better. All right, so let's go ahead and close out your reading with a Eternal Crystals Oracle card, Virgo. Ooh, green aventurine. This is one of my favorite crystals, especially when we're talking about money. All right, this is card number 5, new opportunities, heart chakra. Yes, yes, new opportunities. That's what we're making space for. That's what our reading was communicating to us. All right, so this is exciting. I do believe you're going to have some new opportunities. Like I said, things are turning around very, very quickly for you, Virgo. So get ready. November's going to be exciting. All right, I want to thank you so much for hanging out with me. Remember, we'll do this all again next month.